Let's please welcome Sarah Egan Warren.
So let's start with a disclaimer. I'm a little crazy, difficult, demanding, overly sensitive. I find it really hard to let go of things. And like everyone here, I have a couple of real problems to deal with and a handful of first world problems that, let's be honest, we're lucky to have first world problems. I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist or a social worker or a mental health professional. I'm not a self-help author. I don't have the answers. But what I do have is a creative approach to dealing with life's ups and downs that I hope you'll find interesting or helpful, or maybe at the very least entertaining. So we find ourselves 5 months into the year. So let's talk about New Year's resolutions. May seem strange to think about resolutions at this point, but I think it's the perfect time because most people's resolutions don't even make it to the spring. For me, New Year's resolutions started to be a huge problem. They made me feel inadequate. It was like this thing looming over me, this checklist of items that I was supposed to do. But instead of inspiring me to do great things, they were really bringing me down and making me feel bad. So ultimately, I've abandoned those New Year's resolutions, and instead, I've embraced the idea of personal mottos. So each year, I pick a new personal motto. To be honest, I sometimes cycle back to old ones when I need them, but mostly I have a theme for each year. Sometimes those mottos evolve into a mantra that I can repeat over and over and over to myself to hopefully convince myself of them. So tonight I'm going to share 5 of my personal mottos with you, tell you the stories of where they came from and how I use them, and hopefully inspire you to think of your own personal motto. But if personal mottos are not your thing, that's okay. Just sit back, listen to the stories, and enjoy. First one. Things will not always be like this. It was in those hazy, achy, horrible, sleep-deprived moments of being a new parent that I realized that my cute little checklist of resolutions was not going to cut it. I needed something to help me get through those difficult times while still embracing those wonderful moments, because there are wonderful moments with a newborn. And in fact, what everyone says to a new parent is this: treasure every single moment because they go by so fast. I hate that advice because I could not imagine time going any slower than it was. I didn't want to wish away that time, but what I needed was a light at the end of the tunnel. And so that motto, things will not always be like this, helped me to remember I was not always going to be up to my elbows in diapers. I was not always going to be a sleep-deprived zombie. And it also helped me to remember to hold on to those very fleeting moments that I was having with my children. Number 2, I am a blockade runner. When I was in college, I decided that I couldn't possibly do study abroad because I was too busy with a job and a boyfriend and an apartment. All 3 of those things are long, long gone. So as an instructor, I thought, I'm going to design my own study abroad program. Little did I know the obstacles that would be in my way. Paperwork, applications, proposals, recruiting, advertising, budgets. And when I would hit these seemingly insurmountable tasks that almost stopped me from finishing my program, I would think, I am a blockade runner. I am going to find my way through it. I'm going to find my way over it or around it. Nothing was going to stop me from that goal. This motto inspires me to be swift, to be cunning, to outmaneuver, to figure out a way to get to my path. Number 3, at least I'm not dead. My husband hates this motto. It's dark and depressing. However, a couple years ago, I had some really serious medical problems that some people don't survive. So I feel very lucky that I came out on the other side of it very much alive. However, when I'm having problems, feeling frustrated with my limitations, I have to remember that my alternative is far worse. I don't want to compare my abilities or my limits to other people. That is just a recipe for either self-pity or false pride. And so I think I may be struggling, but at least I am not dead. Next one, more plie. So for some of you maybe have seen me speak before, and I'd like to talk about my most favorite topic of ballet. And I didn't want to repeat any of that information, but I really needed to include my more plie motto tonight because it is something that I work on a daily basis. I love this idea. So for those of you who don't know, plie is a movement in ballet where the dancers bend their knees and lower to the ground. It is the way to start most movements. It's the way to jump. It's the way to land safely. It is about flexibility and strength, and even the tiniest dancers work on their flexibility and strength by doing plies. So I love this idea of combining strength and flexibility and bending to move forward and yielding to advance and giving into the plie to be better. Intellectually, I get all of that, but it is hard for me. It is hard for me to be more flexible in my day-to-day life. And this is one of those mottos that has become a mantra: more plie, more plie, more plie. So the last one I'm going to share tonight is just because it's hard doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. So easy seems like a great idea because it's easy. It would have been easier to go home after work tonight instead of coming here. It would have been easier to skip a dance class and veg out in front of the TV. It would have been easier, but it wouldn't have been better. I discovered that when I was being faced with something that was more complex or complicated than I wanted it to be, that I was looking for that easy way out. And in doing that, I was missing some of the adventure. So this motto helps me to deal with some of those difficult times. It doesn't mean I don't complain when things are hard. I complain a lot. But that motto, these personal mottos, help me move through and deal with some of life's ups and downs. So maybe you've thought of your own personal motto as I've been talking. You're welcome to steal one of mine. And if you're the kind of person who likes New Year's resolutions, why don't you add one more that you can have your own personal motto for next year. Thank you.